Before I get started on the flawless bosses, this is what my loadout looks like. So here I use top left, middle right, and bottom left. And after this guide is released, I'll also be posting within the next week a guide on how to get all the equipment in Dystobel. But basically what I look for is just the most attack. So 22 is the highest you can get in game. At least the highest I've gotten. And all of those accessories are accessible pretty early on, but don't worry if you don't find them before you beat the early bosses. They shouldn't be too hard, especially with the tips I give you. Alright, into the tutorial. Okay, flawless. Yo, what's up guys? Future Chaco here to tutorial you. So this bad guy, he's gonna shoot stuff at you. You're gonna want to jump over it. Optimally, you can get 2 shots off between each one, but I'm not that great at it. Now, when he goes up into the sky, you want to stand either here or here. If you stand close to the wall, he tends to spawn there, and if you are in the middle, he can also spawn there. But if you're here or here, most of the time he won't hit you. So that's my tutorial for the bad guy. He should be not too hard because he's the first boss. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Wow, that was free. No hit run, 3rd strike. Alright, here's my tips for Owlboy. First off, you see his hands here. They actually point down when the electricity thing underneath you spawns. And they point in random directions left and right when the feathers here spawn. Also, the electricity, you can prevent damage if you switch to lightning. And fireballs are really good against this guy because they can bounce up and hit him. And then the purple things at this on top of you, they pretty much never hit you. You just have to make sure that you have a decent amount of wiggle room here. Now, sometimes, before the bosses got nerfed, I would get cornered by him, where he'd basically take up all this space and then jump into you. When he jumps, you can actually go underneath to escape, but most of the time he shouldn't jump, so he should be fine. This guy's also not too bad. But yeah, a few of the icicles, fireball is still better because it can bounce up and hit him. Yeah, the boss health points. What is that? Oh my gosh, the lag. He's hitting me with a lag attack. So this guy's also not too bad. There's just a couple things you have to worry about if you do what I do. I like to stay on the left. Sometimes his head, it does deal contact damage, so when he's going back and forth, he can hit you. Which can be a little bit unpredictable. So staying as close to the wall is kind of nice when you're trying to hit him with fireballs. Now the red and the blue orb attacks are pretty easy. They basically just go in this direction, so you stand somewhere that isn't there. And then these beetle things are the only one that's kind of hard to hit because they go pretty fast and they kind of cut you off. So as you see here, I'm jumping over them. I'd recommend just not even attacking him when the beetles come out and just waiting to jump over it, because the other two attacks aren't that bad. So just try to dodge this one and you should be pretty fine. Oh, I think this guy can't shoot his ice blast anymore. Or ice head or whatever. Oh no, there he goes. Maybe it just takes until he gets to a certain amount of health. That's a little bit scary when it gets so close to you. Oh my gosh, what was that angle, dude? We did it! Super no-hit run 4. There's some advice for this guy. The orbs that he sends always get sent within about this range. So if he's up here and he's shooting orb and you're worried he's gonna hit you, stay down here. If he's down here, try to jump over it. Sometimes when it closes in and he ends up about here, you don't have as much time to respond. So if you want to stop attacking and just wait and see what color it is and try to take it out, that makes a lot of sense. I'd also recommend, as you saw in my attempt, I like to clear out the orbs as fast as I can so that they don't hit me. So that's pretty good to do. And then this red guy, I'll show you what happens here. You saw when it hit the corner, it went like almost exactly straight to the right. You should be a little bit careful even if it looks like it won't hit you. Because there's a little bit of jank with the corners. But yeah, not too bad. Just be extra careful when the hand closes in. And always be sure to keep jumping and attacking. Yeah. The third time should flash back to the first time where it recurses upon itself. Alright, where's our good friend Bill Cipher? There he is. Here's my tips for the train section. First off, when these guys land, their hitboxes are active immediately, so you want to be extra careful. They tend to die in 2 hits, but this pyramid dude, he takes a lot of hits, so you want to prioritize the pyramid dude if you can. Do like I do, switch between fire and ice. You pretty much never want to use electric in this. But yeah, just prioritize the pyramid dudes, try to kill the flower dudes, and try to stay near the middle of the screen so that you have the best viewing distance of the pyramid dudes and the flower guys. Yeah, so that's it. I forgot to mention there's actually no achievement for clearing the train section hit list, but it's still nice to do because you do die pretty fast. So you want a little bit of a buffer just in case. Oh gosh, this is gonna be really tense because if I wanna do this hitless, I have to start from scratch basically. Got him! No hit, run B, vengeance. That was a really good hit list because I did hitless train plus the hitless boss. There's just a few things I wanted to highlight about this boss. First off, these green balls, sometimes it looks like you can duck under them, but it's pretty much always better to jump to be safe. For the first phase of the boss, he'll only shoot one of these, but then once he gets down to about half health, I think, he starts to shoot a volley of 3. It's best to focus on dodging them more than dealing damage. And then when it flies overhead, it likes to drop these things of fire 3 in a row like this. So if you stand on the right, you're pretty much always safe. Now it's important to note these little fire things turn into these brick stone things for a little bit. So their hitbox stays active, so you have to be extra careful of that. And then also, sometimes when it flies overhead, it likes to do this big laser thing, which will cover about this much of the screen. As long as you're standing off to one side, you'll be safe from that. So yeah, just focus on dodging the green beams. Oh, also when you jump up, you can hit it while it's flying overhead. So that's good to know for a little bit of extra damage. But yeah. Oh, also, if you die on this part, you don't have to do the train part with all the enemies again, which is very nice. Where's this thing from clean? Honestly, though, you can tell it's a lot easier because I was able to get that on the second try. Didn't know you could have two attacks on at the same time. Didn't even think to dodge that because it was so late in the fight. Oh gosh, I was so sure that would hit there. I don't think she can go low enough to hit you, which is really nice. I forgot I was in electricity, which does not deal damage. Oh, got him. That should be it. Alright, second try. No! That didn't count, I don't think. So this lady is a really hard boss. You can tell she's at half health when the skull mask goes on. There's 3 different attacks, and I'm going to start off with the easiest. So the first one, you'll see these exclamation points, and wow, look at that great exclamation point. And it'll say where the spikes are, so you want to stand wherever the exclamation point isn't. So you want to stand like about here on the screen, so that you can shoot to the right. Normally she doesn't end up on the left, but sometimes she can. And also, if you're worried about getting hit with her chair, that can happen, but most of the time it'll be okay if you don't panic and jump when she gets near you. Now, this hand attack is definitely one of the hardest attacks to dodge in the game, so this boss is going to take you a lot of time to learn. You want to be sure to understand the character's hitbox, because there's no ducking, and it is pretty big. So you just want to be extra careful with the hands. Focus on dodging the hands more than hitting her when the hand attack is going on. And then there's a third attack, which is the one with the different colored circles. And this one isn't actually all that bad. In fact, it's pretty easy. The problem is that she can do other attacks while that's happening. So she can start dropping you. Most of the time she won't do the hands at the same time, but this is definitely one of the harder fights, so don't worry if it takes you a lot of attempts. Also, just as an aside, here's something funny that can happen with this boss. Let me show you. So here's my first attempt. I kill her, she's in the death animation, and then this hand hits me. So you want to be careful. This won't get rid of the achievement, but it will make you feel like you lost the moral victory. So just be careful on that. But yeah, it's definitely a doable boss. That run did feel pretty good up till that point. I got greedy. Don't let me stop you, buddy. Brother, what? Alright, I'm not being greedy. We did it. I got the achievement. And I dodged the final hit. So this wolf guy is the hardest boss in the game, and also, in my opinion, the coolest boss in the game. So there's a few different attacks. There's the charge where you have to jump over him. You can see him in the background, so it's very important to be watching the background. When I started this fight, I thought that these cracked windows that you see here with all the cracks in them were the only ones that he could jump through and do the slam attack, but he can actually do that from anywhere, even if the window isn't cracked. And he can do the same attack twice, which got me on a lot of these attempts. So for the attack with these plus signs, you basically want to be underneath, like in about this radius, and then you go in the same direction. If you're at an angle like this, and you're going away, it's kind of likely to hit you, because they go in a straight line, so they can, like, swipe you if you're here, for instance. And then the other big attack is the one where he shoots up all those little boogers that kind of drop on you. And that one is very nice because you can get in a lot of extra hits. And you can get in, like when it drops, before it drops, you can get a hit and then move left and then get a hit and then move left. And then just keep doing that. But yeah, that's probably the best way to get damage in. And now here I'm going to show a bit from the video. So you're watching this plus sign, right? And then he's right in your face. So only the time before the screen cracks, when he's at about like 30% health, I think, he can cancel and just run right back at you. So I was very close to getting hit there. So you just want to be a little bit extra careful when you're close. Also, there's no tell for when he howls and stops running. So normally I try to jump over him as soon as I can. Because there's a certain distance where he can't stop. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, so like while he's here, he can't stop. And then he can stop once he gets to, I think it looks like the third window or so. But if you jump, you can have enough time to tell which way he's coming from. But yeah, for these windmill parts, you want to be pretty much underneath it. The trick is to not jump here. A lot of the times in practice, I was getting hit because I was jumping here, and I was falling back down onto it. So you want to leave yourself like exactly that much room. And you can jump over the last bit. Also, it's a good idea to get in those extra hits when he's running at you. And you can't actually react when he stops, it just can be hard sometimes. So you saw there he was about like 2 windows further than the first time that he stopped. So I was prepared to either jump up and over him, or if he stopped, to go back to the left. So you kind of have to be a little bit versatile there. And then here you can see it drops, you can turn around, get a hit in, turn around, get a hit in. I didn't here. Once he gets lower on health, it's probably a better idea to try not to get as many hits out, because it is a very dangerous boss. But yeah, so you want to be looking in the background. If he jumps, you want to be prepared to dodge. After he jumps, he can either go left or right, so you don't really know what's going to happen. But you can probably get at least one good hit in there. Yeah, so this is the hardest boss. I wish you luck. I gotta start waiting. I like how those things explode after doing one shot. Star Wars tech. go, not jumping. We got it. Okay, this time it gave me the achievement, so she did actually get defeated. Alright, so this boss, Alana, is also pretty hard. You can see she makes those little green things that come flying at the top of the screen. They do fall pretty slowly, so they shouldn't hit you, as long as you just move a little bit out of the ways. They can build up, though. She can do a lot of them in quick succession. Probably the two scariest attacks are the jump attack and the purple attack. So when she jumps over you, you can be standing pretty close to her and actually not get hit. And you can kind of stand in the middle. She can do a lot of jumps on repeat, so she can go back and forth. So when she jumps, you can be close to her, it's fine. And then for the purple attack, you want to be far away. So you do have a little bit of a tell. She likes to throw up a peace sign with her hand there. And then if it's purple, it goes down like this, and then it goes in a big loop. And it's actually a lot easier to dodge than the one in Kunitere, who this boss is a takeoff of. Pretty much, if she's off screen, like she's here, and you're on the ground, you're gonna always be safe. If she's on screen, you just want to be a little bit away from her. And then when she shoots the fireworks, they can go... Hold on, let me remake the... When she does the fireworks, they can either go like really close to her, or a little bit further away. But in either case, you want to be pretty far back, and then you can just jump over them. The tricky thing is if she throws fireworks and then she jumps over you. So you just want to land as soon as you can, so that if she jumps, she can jump over you. She can also chain jumps together, so she can jump over you like 3 or 4 times. So you want to be careful for that. And as always, the patterns are random, so just try to get familiar. But you pretty much always want to be like a little bit away, so that if she jumps over you, she won't hit you on landing. And then if she throws something, you have time to back up a bit. But yeah, if you use all these tips, you should be able to get her. Do the starting motion that he was attacking. I think that was blue. Oh, it wasn't. No hit run, Eternal! Okay, that was a lot easier than the first time I fought that boss. Wow. Solomon used to be like borderline impossible. So this used to be the hardest boss, and now I'd say it's one of the easier ones because of the health nerf. Used to be a lot harder to kill. So basically, the only way to deal damage to these fans is by using the fire ability, so you're going to want to use that a lot. And then once they get low enough, you hit them with electricity to take out the brains. And then once you kill all 4 of them, you beat the boss. So I like to start out and go for the electricity one in the top left. and it shoots out shockwaves to this green one, but the green one's too far to hit you. And the fire, which you're already in fire, so you dodge that for free. So then all you have to worry about is dodging the electricity, which you can do by either jumping if it's on the floor, or if it's in the air, you just stay on the ground. You have to look out for the pulses. So you can see in the background this guy, who is Solomon, I think, who shoots out these different colored pulses. So you try to change your color according to the pulses, and then the pulses are dangerous because they can bring back ones that are dead but haven't been even taken out the brain with the electricity yet. And they can also hit you. And they're the full screen, so you have to change your color. So I'd say the most important thing is to look out for the pulses. The only way that I died when I came back to this was I bonked on the ceiling here. It's a little bit of a tricky jump, but as long as you look out for that, you should be fine. So anyways, let me go through my personal strategy, which is I like to go for this guy because I think the electricity is the hardest one to dodge, and then I go for the fireball, and then the ice, and then the green skull core. So when you hit this one, you just have to worry about the electricity. You don't have to worry about anything else. And then when you hit this one, it's going to trigger the snowball, and the snowball is just a straight shot projectile to where you are. So it's not too bad to dodge, but you could take it slow and switch to ice so that it doesn't hurt you. But once this one's done, you've done the hardest part. You can just take this one out, and then this one is a little bit tricky because the green goes right towards you and it's homing, but you can bounce it if you hit this part of the platform, which you can hit from here. I like to go a little bit closer because it's easier to land hits. But then once you have that, you just dodge the final pulse and you're good to go. Yeah. Pre-nerf this guy was a lot harder. I think each of these cores took like 20 to 25 hits or something. But yeah, hopefully you're able to get all bosses flawless. I'm rooting for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this, but there's going to be a guide on the collectibles coming out. And once that's out, I'll put that link in the description as well. If you have any trouble finding the equipment.